Vanessa filming for Carolyn's Musings on Etsy and YouTube, and One Way Journals on Facebook. So what I've got for you today is a kit that is designed by Trish Myers, and it's beautiful. This one is called the Antique Amber Spring Digital Kit, and it is gorgeous. Now, I think that I had to get this done before spring finishes for you all in the US, but I honestly think that this kit could be used for all the year round. It's just gorgeous. So I'll give you a quick little look. Embroidery onto the spine, and then, yeah, we've got a little flip down here with a tag, and then we've cut this out to reveal her here and a side pocket. So that's the top of the journal, and then inside it's full of lace and ephemera and vintage goodness. Okay, so let me get to showing you the next section. Okay, let's take a look what's in the kit. So this beautiful image here, and I haven't printed on the back because I think this might be my cover. I'll decide that later, but that's gorgeous. Once again, printed on 120 GSM, so a bit thicker than normal photocopy paper. And then this one, I'm not sure what I did, but I printed twice by mistake back to front, but that's okay. And then this one with the vintage car, so it's definitely got a vintage vibe to it. These beautiful birds and this fabulous big butterfly. Upside down, sorry. That one with the bicycle. This one. Oh, that's lovely with the swing and the tree. There we go. Oops. And that one. There are some that are similar to this, but each sheet is different. That one looks similar to the other one, but it is different. Now there's a couple of different backing papers, so that's one of them. And then this one, this has got the same backing paper. I did that by mistake, but that's okay. I'll just split them up in the kit. And this beautiful one. And so that's a different, you can see, that's different, that backing paper. And then this is one of the backing papers, and that one, as well as this one. And this is like a dark mottled image, and then there's a lighter one which I've used on the back of the ephemera. Okay, so that's all the pages, and then the ephemera I've printed on 160 GSM. These tags, this one I think I did a bit thicker, it's on 200 GSM, so that's just lovely. That beautiful lady is on one of those tags. So this is the lighter backing paper, so that's on the ephemera. So this one, so with a window pocket, fabulous. Then these tags, and this one, this sheet is actually reprinted, and it also has it without the to and the from on this envelope, so you've got two options to print on that one. And I printed that on the back. And then this one, I didn't print on the back of these. I'm not sure how I use these yet, but I printed off an extra backing sheet. So I didn't think I'd use these. These would be stuck down on something like a cluster. These, possibly I could back them, but I've printed another sheet where I can glue that on the back. And then these fabulous pockets. So I haven't printed on the back. Same, more pockets, haven't printed on the back. And And then we've got some fussy cuts, and then this one I haven't printed on the back, but this one I have. So if you can see, I printed this. So some of those things have just got one thing on the page, I can glue them and back them onto this one. Then what I wanted to show you too was that Trish and Carolyn also have, so that kit's designed by Trish, and then there's also the coffee dyed papers. Now I do coffee, tea dye, avocado dye, eco dye, my own papers, but if you're in a cold climate and you're not able to do that, these are a really great option. So I just wanted to show you what's in the range. This one I actually printed front and back the same design. So these are great. How fabulous are the swirls? Actually goes that way. The swirls that are in that paper there. So vintage writing, and then there's that pattern. So this is in the kit. There's a couple that have got sort of patterns on them. And writing. So that's like a coffee dye. Aren't they fabulous? And that one. And I think that goes that way. Yes, it goes that way. There we go. So there's a good variety of coffee dyed pages in this one. So you can find that one over on Etsy. And this one, I think that one's upside down again as well. Sorry, I should check that. There we go. And this one. Okay, so that's in that kit. And then because of the vintage vibe, I can't actually find vintage ledgers or anything like that. I haven't been able to find any at my op shops or anything like that. So there is a kit that is ledger papers. So they are full size, so you know, they'll be a full size sheet. But what I've done is I've grabbed the image and put it into actually just a Word document, and I've just reduced it, so I've got 2 to a page and just made them a bit smaller. So I've done that and then printed them on front to back, so I can actually cut that out, fold it in half, and then include those. And so there's that one. This isn't the full kit of ledgers, this is just a few of them. And so this one says the record of and Mavericks with a foreman. So I've done the same thing. They were a landscape full sheet, and I've just turned them to on the side so that I can fold them in half and then do them in the journal like that. So I've printed those front and back. And then this is the same thing, this one, cash paid to the treasurer, order is drawn. So I've done the same thing so that I can just fold and sew that into a signature. So they're ledger papers. That's also available in Etsy, and I'll just put all these kits in the description box. So if you go to the top of the video and press the more button, that's where you'll find all the details of how to get in contact with Carolyn, to see her on Facebook, Etsy, etc., and all the kits will be listed there. And then I'm super excited about this. So I love this kit. It is called the Vintage Bible Pages, and there's a couple. I haven't printed them all, but I found this, which is newspaper print, and I thought, you know, it's thin, it feels like Bible page, what they use in Bibles, and it is. So I'm fortunate I was able to put it through my printer like as a vellum, and so it did accept it, and I printed that front and back. So that means I can fold those in and then have those within the journal as well. So I've just got 2 of those. I'll probably do 2 signatures, I think, in this journal. So yeah, so I've done that, and I'm going to cut them all out and ink them, and then come back to you on how I decide to go forward with this journal. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I've selected my signatures, and I'll just quickly show you how I've put those together, and then I should count them, I suppose. So this will be the front of the first signature. And then I've put in, and I've printed this, as you saw before, I've printed, did I show you? I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I printed this on newspaper paper. So that's what I've done front and back for that Bible page. And then this was on the other side. And then here we go. Right, right, and then I've put in one of the ledger pages that goes in there, and I've deckled edged all the pages. There we go. And then I have actually put some hymn music in there as well, double-sided, and then that's the center because I chose that for that piece there. Okay, and they're the other sides of those. Right, there's that one. Let me just quickly count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's 10 per signature. And then this one, once again, it's got a different Bible page. And then I just realized I haven't, that's okay, I'm going to decal edge that. I didn't realize that was still on there. And then a different ledger page. And then different hymns there. And then that's the center of that signature. Okay, so there we go. Anyway, you get the gist of that. Right, so they're the two signatures, and I wanted to go over the cover with you. So I have this like sticky linen contact, and so I've chosen to use that for the cover. I usually use chipboard, but for this one I just use some like frozen food packaging card, and you can see it a little bit of the color through there, but that's okay on the spine because I'm going to put lace and things on that. And then on this side I had it facing up this way. You can see a little bit of it there. Had it facing up because I knew paper was going to be able to cover it, and so I've just run a strip of that linen down the center, and I have measured my my holes to put into the signatures in the spine. I always suggest like 1.5 centimeters, which is about 5/8 of an inch from the top, because when you put your signature in, you've got, you know, about that much room. Okay, to there. You could do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, so just find the center and pop your hole in there. If you're going to do 5 inches, just measure in between those two, and then you'll get your center point, which was about 4.5 centimeters for me. Sorry, I know in American I work with inches and sometimes I revert back to my centimeters, but I did want to let you know the cover was 8 3/8 of an inch height, and then the 2 pieces were 5 6/8, so that one and then that one, and this is a 1.5 inch spine. So I'll repeat that again. That's 8 3/8 for the height, and then 2 pieces here were 5 6/8, and then this spine was 1.5 inches. So I have measured my dots in at 1/2 inch and then at 1 inch, and that gives you an even spine. So I've put that all together, and they'll go in there, and so this will give you a little bit of space on the edge then to add lace and things like that. I'm not going to decorate the cover yet. I'm going to sew in my signatures and then do that, but I had some ideas for the front cover, so let me show you. So this is going to be on the front, and I'm not going to put that in yet because I have got this fabulous wrinkle seam biting, which I haven't been able to get here in Australia, and beautiful Carolyn sent me a piece of this, so I thought that would be perfect to go in under there. So I'll sew in my signature first and then attach that, and then that will go on top. And then I saw this piece of, that will be my closure, and then I saw on this page that there was a circle in it, so I cut it out and was playing and thought, oh, that could be really cute like that. So I cut out this piece, cut out that circle, and then I've made sure that I've kept that wasn't the side piece because I wanted it not to be flush to the edge, so I could use part of that actual journal page as my flap. So I thought that would be really good, and then just moved it down to where I wanted that hole to cover that image, and then cut off the bottom, rounded the edges and rounded those so they'll match up there. Okay, so that would be a basic flip. Now this was a page that I didn't have backing on, because I knew that was going to be my cover and that was going to be flat down on there. This one, not sure why I didn't print on the back of that, but that's actually worked out really well, because when I put acetate on the back for my window, you would see the acetate, so I needed to back it and put the acetate in between the two pieces. So this was great. This wasn't a double print piece of paper, and I've used a piece of scrapbooking card paper for this, and so I've just drawn a circle when I put these and measured them up, so that will sit in nicely in there. And then, as you can tell, I've just used some ink around that side and some ink around that side, and I've also done some ink around there, and therefore the acetate or any clear film that you want to put in between will sit in between those. So that's great, and that flap will stick in under there. So that will sit like that. Okay, so I thought you might like that as an idea, and I thought, but let's put another flip on. So I grabbed another piece of paper that I think it was a double print on both sides. I made it by mistake. So I cut out the flowers and measured that to go down here. So it's going to be, that one's going to flip that way, this one's going to flip down like this, and then to give it some stability, I've actually glued it onto some acetate, and you can't see the art glitter glue, which is fantastic. So I've just dotted a piece here and here, and then glued it around the edges, the acetate, and that's just given it some firmness there. And this one is, this flap is now going to go in between these two pieces, so you won't see this flap. So before we glue these two together, if you want to do another flap, now is the time to attach that there, and then glue this one on top. Okay, so then you've got that flap that will go down, and that acetate has just given it some firmness. So I thought that was pretty cool with it being clear. And then when this comes down, on the reverse, I have inked around it, and then I did another paper cutout, and I've actually backed that onto some acetate as well. And then I've just glued down the sides here and a little bit, might do a little bit there as well. And then that's created another pocket in there. So when that flaps down, you've got a pocket space for something in there, which could be like your greeting or your little message to who you've given the journal to. And then on this side, I decided, oh, I need to do something when that flaps over. Why does it flap over? What's the purpose of this page? So this was also I've already mentioned that, the scrapbooking paper, and I've did I put it on acetate? I did. I put that on acetate as well and cut around it. Just make sure that the flower, I cut this flower down so that it wouldn't go over the window, and inked it, and then just glued down these two sides, and that's creating a side pocket for that flap. Okay, so I'll go glue those down. This isn't going to be attached yet until I sew in my signatures, because I might want to put some lace and things around the outside, put lace on the spine, see if I do that over the digital, or I won't be able to do it over the digital because of the flap. So the lace will have to go in underneath, and then this on top. Okay, so hopefully that might be a new idea on how to do some flips and things on the front of your journal. And I forgot to mention, I'm trying to use up some of my scrapbooking papers and things, and so I found this music notes, which I thought went really well with this on here. So I've covered the inside. If you wanted to do your closure, you could do that on there and do that before you stick these down, but this time I thought I'm going to glue it on the outside and do it that way instead. Okay, because that beautiful color is going to go with this really, really well. And then so this was a 12 by 12 piece, and so that cut there, the section that was up on the top of that 12 by 12, because I've used that on both sides, I have created that just to create, was the top strip. I've just created and just put a very, very basic pocket from the front and the back with those that are there. Okay, so I'm going to go sew in my signatures, and then I'll come back to you with what we're going to do with the ephemera and how the cover looks. Hi lovely people. Okay, I've had a bit of a play and I've put my cover bit together, so just wanted to show that to you there. So that's come together, and I'm going to glue that down there. So I have sewn in my signatures, so they're in there now. Okay, so they're in there, and you can see there, that's a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And then I've been thinking about playing with some lace. Now before I do that, I just wanted to say I got the most exciting package from one of our Facebook members. Jean, you know what a blessing you are to me, our conversation and prayer points, and I just thank you so much for your support. And she blew me away with colourful lace, and then some white lace, and then this, look how big this ream is. So she knows that this is just such a blessing, and it's going to help me so much to be able to bring you more tutorials with more embellishments and lots of lace, because I love lace as much as she does. So thank you so much, beautiful, beautiful friend, for spoiling me so I can actually extend this to even more. So I was actually thinking of hot gluing this around the top, and then it will go around there, and then around there, and then to the top around there. So I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to do the same top and bottom. And then the gorgeous Carolyn, she also sent me the most amazing parcel with lace as well. So they came together, and with this seam binding, I'm going to hot glue that down on the spine, and that's going to be the tie closure before I put that on. And in that parcel, gosh, instead of me using my old ink pad, I've got vintage photos. So that's very, very similar to the sepia that I've been using. So thank you so much, Carolyn. So I have used that with some of the lighter pages. So I did actually use that for the ledger paper. So I used that around there. For everything else, I did use my espresso, so around all the pages and everything. And there is one in the Ranger range. This is Ranger as well, it's just very old. There is another one, and it's called Ground Espresso. It's pretty much the same color. And then also Antique Linen is what I have used on the flowers around here. I didn't want them to be too dark, so the antique linen is what I've used around that. So that's a combination of the inks that I've used for this journal. And then I've had this in my stash for ages and been wanting to use it for the right project, and this will be it. So that's going to go on the spine. Okay, so I have a little fiddle with that. I think it has to come in underneath so that this will still be able to move. I'll just have a little play and figure out that. But I've got my hot glue gun ready, so I'm going to go do all of that and then come back to you with embellishing the pages. To add a splash of colour and a vintage vibe, I'm going to add some of these. And so this is from a small kit that's called the King James Version KJV Inspirational Bible Verse Journal Cards. Okay, so there's those. And then these. And these. So these fussy cuts are fabulous. These are fantastic if you don't have access to fabric florals to put into your journals, but you'd like to add some colour and you'd like to add some fussy cuts. So these are fantastic. I've actually printed these ones a little bit smaller. Sorry, let me just get the other ones. These are a little bit smaller, and this is the other size. This is how they come out, and I did that smaller so I could layer them on top of each other. And so this means it won't add up too much bulk into your journal because they're out of paper. So these ones are just called the Fussy Cut Flower Set number 2. Here's a fabulous set of bee-themed doilies, and so I'll just show you through a couple of pages. This one here says "Be Kind," so they're lovely. And these ones have a bit of pink in them, so I like the variety of that. And then these these as well. And then it also comes in where you've got an option and they're printed smaller, so 2 to a page. So here are some vintage tattered hymn ephemera. So we've got some tags there, and then there's 2 large like folio pieces. So you could have put a hinge on those and hinge them as a page, and some fussy cuts there. And then there's a smaller one here. And then there's some like torn images there, and that one as well. And then there are some envelopes, and I've already cut them out and I've already inked them as well. So and I've glued them as well, sorry about that. But there are some fabulous envelopes. We're Marching to Zion is this one, and this is Brethren We Have Met to Worship. Okay, and then there's a smaller one here, Blessed Be Thy Name, and that's like a little seed pocket. And this one, I Will Praise Him. So they're lovely. Actually, I think there was another mini one. Here it is, sorry, this little tiny one as well, and that's got a cross. This one I haven't glued yet, and it's got that little cross on the back. Isn't that sweet? And so that can be ready to be embellished. You can put toppers and things on that as well. This set is called the Vintage 1826 journal cards, or definitions, sorry. And so these are fabulous. They're really neutral, vintage, will go with lots of different journals. So we've got bless here as a verb, faith, assurance, believe, anointed, abundance, abide, abound. And we have forbearing, hope, kind, thankful, trust, and then they're repeated without the corners on them, so the faux metal corners on those. And then there's a few smaller ones there as well. So this is a really great neutral ephemera kit that you can add as journal cards, or you can embellish them on pages and things. This little ephemera set is fantastic, and it's actually just called Scripture Labels on Etsy. And so just wanted to bring that up a little bit closer so you could see the sweet little birds. There's butterflies, and then there's some flowers on there. And then you've got some different ones here. So I'll just bring that up so that you can see those. These are fantastic to add onto journal pages, or if you want to decorate some tags and things. And then it also comes where it's 2 to a page on that sheet. Hi, I just quickly wanted to pop in. So my desk is full of all the ephemera to decorate the journal, and I've already started to pull out some freebies. So I wanted to let you know, now there are old freebies over on the Facebook group, so jump on over there, and if you've got a problem finding them, just let us know and one of us will be able to help you. This one was called Build a Tag, and it was from early last year, I think. And so I've already made this one. I've added some lace on it and a fussy cut here, a pocket, and then a tag here, which is, I've just added some washi there to lever those together with a fussy cut inked around the edges. Okay, so that one I've already done, and so I just thought I would show you the other bits and pieces. There's this one with the backing paper to print on there, and then there's a selection of tags here that we can build upon. I've just kept the white on the side in case I want to lever them. There we go as well. Okay, so they're a selection of all the tags that you can mix and match. And so because I already made one for the journal, I thought I'd let you know where that came from. And then a couple of the other freebies that are over there that I have used before. This one is lovely too. Love that lace design. So that's just a basic little folio, and there's an image there of a church which I thought would go well, and just a basic tag as well. So they're the freebies that I have used. And then also I've just grabbed a couple of bits of ephemera. I'm not sure how much of it I will use, but because of the vintage vibe, I thought I would let you know. This is from the King James Version ephemera kit, which I have used. I've actually used them in a grief journal, and I've used bits and pieces in another journal as well. That fussy cut, I'm sure, is from this one as well. So there's lots of blues and greens and things in this kit, but vintage. So that's a great vintage sort of looking flower that one there. There's so much to that kit. I've only just pulled out a few things. I'll probably use one of these, Thankful and Grateful and Truly Blessed. I'll probably choose one of those. And then there's this one as well, and then there's a bunch of these little scripture bits and pieces as well. So I'm not sure what I'll use out of those, but I thought I'd quickly mention that. Okay, I just wanted to show you a quick way how to make a writing board, and so this is just one way. In my next journal I'll do one where I wrap it like you do a journal cover, where you have your piece of paper that's bigger than this, and then you miter the corners and wrap it in. I'll do that next time. This one I have got my 2 digitals that are cut down just slightly smaller than the piece of chipboard. For both sides, and make sure that this piece will slip in properly into the pocket or wherever you're putting it. And then the easy part is just to go around the corners with some washi tape, but make sure that you glue those down. So I'm just going to cut that length there and apply some glue. Whatever your preferred glue is, a glue stick is great for this. Okay. Right. Okay. Please excuse my gross fingers. I've got ink and chipped paint and everything because I'm still crafting away. I probably was a little bit thin on that side and a little bit wide on that side, but that's okay. I know it will cover up with the digital. So I'm just going to do that on all 4 sides, and I'll just speed this bit through. Okay, so that's that done, and then basically it's just going to glue down your 2 pieces. This was some of the backing papers from the kit, and I'd printed them back to front because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, but I've just decided to use them for this. And then just trying to even and center. Sorry, it's difficult for me to see without sticking my head in, but anyway, there we go. That's one side, and then let's do the other one. So this is just going to give us a flat surface to write on within the journal. So art glitter glue is fantastic. It's going to dry quickly and it's not going to budge. Make sure you've got the right direction on both sides. Mine on the reverse, it doesn't matter what way it goes up, but just double check that before you lay them down if you choose something that's directional. And there we go. How simple is that? You've got yourself a writing board, and that will go in the back of the journal. I think she's ready to show you. Okay, so here we go. This is just seam binding that's wrapped around there, and so it has this flip down section here, and pull this out and it has a little tag. So that was one of the freebie tags over on Carolyn's Facebook page, and I've just added some lace and a fussy cut on there, and then there's a fussy cut there, little butterfly, and some lace down the side here with some more little, they're just flowers that were from the papers. I sort of cut them out from offcuts. A butterfly here and another one here, and so, and one here as well, and so that just acetate just holds in there, and then that little wing holds this little flip open here. And here we go. So here is a side pocket and one of the tags in here. Just added some seam binding there. That tucks in there. Okay, so we just make sure that we keep that window clear so we can see her beautiful face. So there we go. And then tuck that back in there. Okay, so that's the cover. And so we open up to the inside. In the pocket here, I have a little envelope, and this one just has all of those beautiful words in it, like spring, flowers, birds, things like that in there. That can be decorated later. And then what I've done is, for sort of a grungy sort of vintage vibe, I printed this background paper. This is from the coffee dyed set of papers, and I did that front and back and tore around the edges, inked them, and then put one of the hymns, and this is from the Tattered Hymn Ephemera kit, and a fussy cut flower here. Now this is the fussy cut set 2 of flowers, and so I printed one sheet smaller than the other and layered them on the top there. So that's what those are. And then this has just got a little bit of tea dyed gauze type of thing underneath. And then this bit of backing paper I've just hinged in underneath this middle sheet, which was another one of the coffee dyed papers. And so yeah, it's just got at a fussy cut there, so it's got writing space and things in there, and this piece is just glued down to the back. So that belongs in that front pocket, and then the seam binding is just there. Now I know a lot of you are sewers, and this would be the most perfect kit for those that love to sew around your tags, around these pieces and things, especially like in a chocolate coloured thread. That would be fantastic. I don't have time, unfortunately, and I'm not that confident with sewing. I do have a sewing machine, but it just takes long enough to get a lot of the journals out and get the videos up onto YouTube. So unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of time to do that. But if you love to sew, that would be fantastic. So from the Fussy Cuts set number 2, there's a whole bunch of flowers, because this is a spring kit, but honestly with the colors in it, I think it could be used all year round. But I went to town with the Fussy Cut flowers, so you'll see those within the journal. And this little word bit here is from the King James Version Faith Ephemera kit. Some lace there. This butterfly, I printed this page again on vellum, and that's just glued that down the center, so that's there. This is one of the vintage Bible pages that I printed on vellum. This here, I printed the page again and just made the pocket line up with the bicycle, cut out a notch so it's sort of seamless on the page. And then the top half, I've just used that, so that can be a very simple journal card that goes in there. Butterfly here, because throughout the journal it's all in these beautiful amber colors, but I wanted to occasionally on a page just put a little pop of color, so you'll see that throughout this journal. So this little butterfly here just holds this flap down, which folds out, and that's on the back of that flap. And so I've just made a journal card, cut that out with acetate, and then this is from the freebie over in Carolyn's Facebook page. This was a freebie from last year, which I mentioned before, builder tag, and so I'm pretty sure that flower comes from the King James Ephemera kit. So I've just put that there, and some beautiful lace, the pocket, and then I think when I did show you what I was doing, I did add this on here so that you could have a journaling spot writing on there. Okay, so that's the builder tag freebie. Goes in there. And then that was glued down, and I added some washi tape to cover where I glued that down. Then I've just got one of the pockets here, added some lace, another layered fussy cut. This is from the King James Ephemera kit. And then here we go. I've just, with this, put a fussy cut on the front, and then torn some of the backing paper to make a side pocket. And in here, this is that gorgeous little kit, which is called Scripture Labels. Yeah, they're just called Scripture Labels, and they come in King James Version and the NIV, and they're under the $1 musings on Carolyn's Etsy page. And so there's 14 of them there. and I've just folded them, cut down the sides, but left them here. So they just sit in there, and then whoever has this journal can just decorate with those later. So that goes in there. Bit of lace and a butterfly, and that's the ledger page. Fussy cut here, tag, a pocket with a tag, and I've just added a butterfly there, and then that seam binding on the top. And lots of writing space. You sort of can do it in the bits and pieces, or you can put something on top of it to write. Here I just added some lace and 2 butterflies there. This was these 2 long pieces of ephemera that I've made into a paperclip, hidden paperclip, and I just did them front and back. And then the cards that are in here, these are from the King James Version Inspirational Bible Verse Journal cards. So I will put a link of everything in the description box. So that's where those journaling cards come from. So this is just a hymn that I've stuck in here, lace on the side, and one of those fussy cut flowers from set number 2. Pocket here. Now these this gorgeous envelope is from the Tattered Hymnal ephemera. So you'll be able to find that over on Etsy. Added a fussy cut, and then inside here is one of the hymn tags that's from that kit. And so they're over on, let me just see if I've got that written anywhere. Oh, I don't know where I've put it. Anyway, love that. And I've just added a layered fussy cut flower there for the center page. This was from one of the journal pages that I cut. Actually, it's from this one. I cut it out and just laid it on top, and then added one of the hymnal tags under there. Fussy cut here. Corner pocket with just a basic tag there. And then I've added fussy, I've gone crazy with the flowers. So these, I just wanted to show you how beautiful it can look with paper flowers instead of having to use fabric, or you know, you can cut down the cost by using paper ones and layering them. And so I could embellish on the top of each one, but I've done a lot of embellishing, sort of had to stop somewhere, but I've just laid those down the side of that page. And of course you can write here. Right here, this one I've just sort of, the top of this scrapbooking page that I used for this journal, I've just folded that 12 by 12, it was the top section, folded it over and created a flat for that there. And then it's got a journal card in there, fussy cut there. And then here I've just added an envelope that flips, and just make sure that doesn't interfere where you put this piece, that it doesn't interfere with that crease. And so that's just another one of those hymnal envelopes. And then it's got one of those tags, hymnal tags in there. So there's lots of those. I thought with the vintage vibe that would go really well. Some lace there. There's a bit of pop of green on this one. So on one of the ledgers, this flower I'm sure is from the King James Version Faith Ephemera kit, and so is this one as well. Yep, and some lace. So just added a pop of green on that, and lots of journaling space. And then here, now this one is the King James Version Inspirational Bible Verse Journal cards. That's where this set has come from. So this page has got a pop of pink. So we have one of the hymnal tags there with a vintage doily there. That's from one of Carolyn's kits. That's from this journal kit, the journal card kits. They come in bigger size and then small little tags. So just put that on with some ribbon for a tuck spot. This one is from that Hymnal Ephemera kit, which is an envelope, and I've just created here a hinge. And then from one of these pieces of paper, I've just torn a piece so it sort of blends in really well. And then you flip this out. I've just done another flip with one of these journal cards and just added some washi there with some glue, and then that just gives us an extra flip. And then I've added this was one of Carolyn's freebies from an eco die kit, and I've just created a hinge so that is up and down, added some lace, and then the fussy cut flowers there. Okay, another Bible page here with a fussy cut there, lace on the edge, and that's the edge of the first signature. So now we come to the second signature with some more lace. Just added a fussy cut butterfly there. This one's got a pop of teal colours here, so a bit of teal ribbon and butterflies there, just in basic tags. A Bible page, another fussy cut there, more writing space. And here as well, the King James Version Faith Ephemera kit is where this label came from. I just stuck that there. From the Fussy Cut Flowers, that's there. Most of them are just decorative, but this one I just glued down just this section. So if you wanted to tuck something in there, you could. Another fussy cut butterfly there. The ledger I've added from this kit is one of those vintage flower stackable little ephemera bits. It's really cute. I love those throughout this journal. And some lace, and then a corner pocket with a basic tag there. Now this one you might have seen this. If you're new to the channel, you might not have, but Carolyn has a range of scripture gate cards, and so we did it was when was it? It was in the beginning of the year. Carolyn offered in January one of them for free, and so we've used that in our journals, and then you can actually buy, if you want them in different colors, there is a set of those over on Etsy. So with these two labels from the King James Version Ephemera kit, I've just doubled them over to create a hidden paper clip, so in there. And then this little gate fold comes open, and then we've got that as a beautiful journaling card. That's the base of it, and I've just added a little braid there that makes that swing there. And then the reason it's not glued down is because when you go in the back there's a pocket. I've just added some washy little stamps here, and then we've got this was the freebie builder tag, some of those extra tags, and so I've just added bits and pieces on there, and then just put some more of those stamps on the back. Okay, so that goes back there. Let me just get this back on. Goes that way. Okay, so I haven't put in, oh I have. So this journaling card just goes back in there, and that one is from the King James Version Inspirational Bible Verse Journal cards, those floral ones. Okay, so this one was a bit of fun. This was actually a porridge sachet, and so it had a bit of a crinkling sound, and so I've just stuck one of the hymns on the front there, so it created a pocket, so it's got a bit of a noise. And then this journal card is from the King James Version Ephemera Faith Ephemera kit, so that goes in there, so is that. And some blue lace down there, so just a little bit of pop of colour. This one has a pop of bits of purple and green. So what I've done here is I've layered on some papers and just torn them and inked them, and this is from the backing paper from this kit, and so I've just hinged that in underneath these other papers, so you can write here. And this, I'm just going to pop these open. So basically this is glued down here, which has created a pocket. There's a little splash of purple. So that's one of those floral inspirational journal cards from that set. That goes in as a pocket, but then you can flip this over and write here. And then this was an off-cut from that eco dyed paper. That was a freebie. So that was an off-cut. So I've just hinged that there, so a little folder, you can write on that, and then of course you can write on here. And if you scrunch up your paper and ink around it, you can sort of get different patterns that are there, and that just can tuck in under those there. Okay, it's a beautiful tree with the swing, and so we've got another hymnal page here with some fussy cuts and lace, and then a pocket, a big pocket with a long tag, that beautiful lady that's on the front cover, and just added that bit of ribbon. And then this is the center of the second signature page. And so I've kept it pretty simple, just a fussy cut here and made a lace pocket here and glued that down. This is this little fold out piece. I've just glued 2 of those fussy cuts from this kit onto those, and that just goes back in there. Okay, another hymn page, writing spots there. This one is what I showed before, which was a free tags with a little church card, and made that into a tuck spot. So just added some lace, this fussy cut from this kit here. That little piece I think is from the Hymnal set, Tattered hymns. And yeah, just added some ribbon, and because of the colour that was in there, I added the lace there, and then that little fussy cut butterfly there, as well as this 2-layered fussy cut flowers that are there. Okay, so the other builder tag I showed you before, this was the other one that I put together. So this time it's got this side facing up with the pocket, and then the tag I've just sort of levered them together with different bits of offcut that I had with a fussy cut there. And then you can write here, a little butterfly there, and turn over, and I used one of those things in this kit, that skinny one, to create a belly band. And then in here I've just tucked in a couple of these. Now these are under the $1 musings, and this is called the Vintage 1823 definitions. So we've got abide, abundance, abound, anointed, assurance. I sort of stuck all the A's together. So that's tucked in behind there. And then here, this is from the King James Ephemera kit. So that just folds out with this vintage flower from that kit and some lace behind. And so is this Saved by Grace Through Faith, Ephesians 2:8. And so that tucks in there. Bit of lace there, can write on here, fussy cut here, another ledger page with a fussy cut there, and then here is one of the pockets, and I've added the rest of those definitions. So once again, that's the Vintage 1823 definitions, so they're great little journal cards. And there's believe, and I love that it's got all the Bible verse references that are here. So we've got believe, bless, faith, forbearing, hope, kind, thankful, and trust. So they're fabulous. They're such great little ephemera pieces to add to a journal with that vintage vibe. And we're nearly at the end, just added a fussy cut there just to do a pop of colour. And then here, these are the bee doilies. Now I love doilies. You all know how much I love doilies, and I just don't know how I didn't know about this kit. So yes, I've printed off all those sheets, and I just added 3 of them here on top of this strip of lace. And because there was a bit of pinky peach here, I just added that butterfly here on the Bible page. And another little fussy cut down here. And then because of the bees that are here, I've just added that little bee fussy cut just on the top of that page. And then we go, we've come to the end. So there's the pocket, and then I have popped in that writing board that I showed you how to quickly put that together to put that in there. So there we go, and that's the back. And all finished. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed that and been inspired by this kit, and there might be a few little ideas in there, especially how to do little windows for images and how to add little flips and flops and things like that. So have fun. The next thing I'm working on is a neutral recipe journal so for my son. So that'll be the next thing that I'll bring to you on a video. So bless you all from Carolyn and myself, and we will see you in the next video. God bless. Bye.